in 2001 when he did Hannibal, the same year, this shows his diversity, he was in Friends.
Oh my god, he had some of the funnest. He did the spit scene with Matt LeBlanc.
Do you know what'd be a really good one? Do like a full-on Friends special guest thing, because Friends is one of the unique things where they had all these superstars after they were superstars. Because Brad Pitt was in it for a while.
Also, like Paul Rudd was in it.
Paul Rudd, yeah, he's one of the final people. He's the one that Phoebe
Giovanni
ends up marrying, isn't it?
Ribisi.
Giovanni Ribisi, yeah, from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Who's that model? You got John Favreau's in it as well.
So many
George
people.
Clooney. George Clooney was in it.
George Clooney was in it, yeah.
Jean-Claude Van
'cause the
Damme.
ER.
I think there's loads of probably cameos as well that you forget that people just walked on and off.
Elle Macpherson was in it.
She was. I think she was Joey's girlfriend. Yeah, Van Damme had the monkey, didn't he? He was filming a scene with
Yeah.
the monkey.
Julia Roberts, guys.
Julia Roberts, yeah.
Rage Whale. Deep Dive episode.
This week's episode is on the legacy of one of the undisputable greatest actors of all time, Gary Oldman. We discuss his personal life, his iconic roles, his career highlights and hidden gems, and give you some recommendations at the end. We hope you enjoy this fascinating chat about an interesting and incredible actor and man. Welcome to our third deep dive. We've been talking about deep dives for a while, but we haven't actually done many of them, so
We've been scared to get in the water.
we need to do more. But yeah, as Drew just pointed out, we've all got triple rage whales on. James, mine's a little bit smaller and to the left now.
Yeah, this one is quite low, isn't it? When you look at it, it is a bit low. Yours is a bit Beyonce.
Mine's even smaller than yours, though, Kev.
Mine's higher. Yeah, I did the little one. You've got the tiniest one. But at least yours is in the middle.
Yeah, I like it. I like it in the middle.
Yeah, it is a bit low, isn't it? When you look at it like this, you can't really.
It looked perfect
Under
on the
nipple.
design.
You want it. You want it on the pec, on the nipple, like we were saying.
Mine's maybe a touch too high. Mine's like
No.
Off the nipple, isn't it now?
Yeah. Sorry, we're talking about visual things to the audience. So,
If you're not, the audio to this would sound very.
We're all showing our T-shirts and our logos where they present. So yeah. Anyway, this is the third deep dive we're doing, and today, James has made a couple of suggestions, and we've gone with Gary Oldman.
Gary Glitter.
No, not that Gary. Gary Oldman, which obviously is one of the greatest actors of our generation, but he's got some mad roles under his belt. And I thought I'll just introduce him as some basic facts about him and his family and life and stuff like that. Feel free to interject. And then we can talk about some of his roles in these films. But when I was doing some research for this, I got really excited about this chat because I forgot about half the films he was in because he never looks or sounds the same. So you forget he's in loads of stuff.
He's a real
I found
comedian.
out he was in a film today that's honestly one of my favorite movies.
Oh, yeah, he said, what was it?
Hannibal.
Oh yeah.
He played Mason Verger, the guy with the deformed face. I never knew that was Gary Oldman until I was Googling Gary Oldman films earlier just to like brush myself up. And like, there's quite a few that I forgot he was in.
Yeah, lots. Well, would you want to say something, Drew, before
I can't remember what I was going to say. I'm sure. No, I was just saying about the fact that he's almost a chameleon of an actor. You know, like he transforms in every role, either physically, with his voice, with his body, with his mannerisms. Like, he's a maestro.
Yeah,
I think he's Tom Hardy's. He's Tom Hardy's idol as well, which is awesome. And those two are really tight in real life as well. So,
do you not think he's another Will Ferrell though? You can't imagine him young, can you?
What?
Yeah, because even when he was...
You can't think of Gary Oldman young. He's like a Will Ferrell, isn't he? He's like always been old, like a Morgan Freeman.
His younger roles, when you see photos of him, he looks like a middle-aged man, but he's in his
20s.
20s.
Oh God, what was he in when he's got the skinhead and he's with oh God, he's like a punk dude.
You on about True Romance?
No, before that.
Was it Dracula, isn't he? And that he must have been relatively young in that.
Well, we're not going to specifics. Oh, you're on about when he did Sid Johnny Rotten?
Yeah, I think so.
Sid Vicious.
Is it him and
Yeah.
Alfred Molino as well, or something? They were in a film
I
together.
can't remember. He's in lots. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
so let's begin. So the facts about him before we go into detail again. Interject. He was born on the 21st of March, 1958, which at the time of record makes him 67. And obviously, one of his biggest breakout roles, I know he'd done quite a lot before, but the two main films that put him on the map were JFK and Bram Stoker's Dracula. And Bram Stoker's Dracula, he was with a very young-looking Keanu Reeves, and he was a very old-looking Dracula. And Keanu Reeves is like 4 years older than him. And Keanu Reeves looks like a baby in Bram Stoker's Dracula. He looks like a teen.
Keanu Reeves is not 71. Did you say Keanu Reeves is 4 years older than him?
I was looking at his age. His age is 67, but I was thinking 1967. I'm wrong. Keanu Reeves is 6 years old, 6 years younger than
Keanu Reeves catching strays from Kenneth.
Yeah, John Wick. John Wick's a grey and using a walking stick.
Would have been a different movie with a 7-year-old.
Gary Oldman's born in 58.
Would have been called John Stick.
So Gary Oldman's born in 58. Keanu Reeves is born in 64. So there's 6 years between them. But I was getting it the wrong way around because he's 60. Anyway, he's 67. Gary Oldman's 67. He is English. And he is well known for his versatile and intense acting techniques. Oh, yeah. He's actually a pianist as well. Did you guys know?
I beg your pardon?
Yeah, a bit rude.
He is a pianist and he sings. And
he's one hell of a pianist.
He's famously said in the 90s, like 95, I think it was, he said to an interviewer he would rather be a musician and an actor any day.
I heard he was Sia. You know, the one with the blonde wig.
But that's good. Like he sings. He's done some roles where he's sung. He's played piano in films as well, and he actually tutored Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter man. Actually tutored him in bass.
Oh, what when he was guitar.
When he was playing, acting though, did he?
Is that when he was playing? What's his name? The character that escapes.
Sirius Snape.
Sirius Snape. Yeah.
Azkaban man.
No, Sirius Black. Sorry.
Sirius Black, not Snape. Snape's the other dude.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. I don't think he extracurricular just went to visit Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, that would just be weird, just knocking on Daniel Radcliffe's door. Hey, young man, I want to teach you the piano. I'll see you on set in a week. Yeah.
And he also sang with David Bowie.
What?
How bizarre. He's been married like tons of times, like 6 times or something like that. He first got married to Leslie Manville from Mum on BBC and loads of other stuff. In 87 to 90. He's not made it very long with any of his wives.
She was obviously annoying.
So he's like Henry VIII, essentially.
He had a kid with her as well.
No, he got that fame, didn't he? So 87 to 90, he wasn't really that famous. He got famous, and then she was out of there. He was going to Hollywood, baby. Can
anyone guess who his second wife was? You've done a bit of research, so you might actually know.
Was it O.J. Simpson?
It's in 1990. Uma Thurman.
Sharon Stone. What? I know. Uma Thurman. Wasn't she like 8 then?
No.
Kill Bill.
How old's Uma Thurman?
Probably not too dissimilar age. So they got married in 1990 and 1992, so only a couple of years again.
This episode is sponsored by Weird Maths.
Yeah, and then after that...
She's 12 years younger than him. That could have been sketchy back then.
She's 12 years younger?
Yes.
Okay, so that's like...
In the 90s, she was...
No.
In 1990, she was 20, and he was like mid-30s.
No, she would have been 30. And he was 42.
Maths again in this episode.
I'll let him get off. He'll get off without him.
It's a distance. It's an appropriate distance. Then he got married in 1994 to 1996 to Isabella Rossellini.
Ooh.
Who's just in... What was the film? What was the priesty film?
Oh,
Conclave. She was their head nun.
Conclave.
And she was married to Martin Scorsese and David Lynch.
What?
Not at the same time.
Yeah. That would be awful.
These Hollywood lot get around, don't they?
Wow.
I know, but I didn't know Isabella Rossellini was married to them. How bizarre. Wow. And he is currently married to Giselle Schmid since 2017. She's not famous, basically.
It always lasts when they're not famous. You know, it's when it's two famous people, it always goes a bit pear-shaped, doesn't it?
Did you hear about the when you guys doing research? Did you hear about the assault charges on him?
No.
Okay, so caveat this early that it was unsubstantiated and fake and didn't happen, and there was proof that it didn't happen. But his wife at the time was a little bit nuts, and accused him of attacking her.
Wow.
It says here, Linda Florentino, with whom he had two sons, filed for divorce in 2001 and claimed Gary Oldman had hit her in the face with a telephone receiver whilst choking her.
Whoa.
And Oldman was investigated and cleared, and he ended up receiving sole legal and physical child custody. And she was granted limited state supervised contact if she passed drug and alcohol tests. In 2003, a judge reduced her access to children after dismissing the claims that Oldman had drugged and physically abused them. And in 2018, Gulliver, who was claimed to be a witness to these assaults, alleged that his mother had lied over the years, and specifically condemning the media's disgusting perpetration of the assault allegations. So basically it never happened, but it gave him stress and shit for years and years, which is just mad. That could have ended his career. That could have ended his life.
Yeah, it was almost like the whole kind of Amber Heard kind of Johnny Depp scenario, but of an earlier time.
It's just insane.
Without the turd on the mattress.
Just check the dates as well. Uma Thurman had just turned 20 when he married her. She was born April 1970, and they got married in October 1990.
Okay, that's quite young. Anyway,
well, she was barely out of a teenager.
Moving on. Here's a fact for James. Do you want to say it? Tell us who his sister is.
I can never remember her name. She's off EastEnders, isn't she?
Layla Morse.
Yeah, she was in EastEnders for like 20 years or something.
Yeah, so that's Mo Harris from EastEnders, and she was also in Nil by Mouth.
Yeah, I'm going to get into that. Actually, I've got a story for that.
Oh, brilliant. Okay,
let's just jump into it now because you said Nil by Mouth.
Let's go into the films in a minute. Let's do just him for a bit. Another interesting bits. Well, semi-interesting. Again, interject if you've got any bonus facts. But he was born in New Cross, which is like South London near Peckham area, and he's infamously failed to get into RADA, the Royal Academy for Dramatic Art.
Yeah, he went to East 17.
Yeah, and did you hear what the quote was or something? The quote was that...
Sorry, not East 17.
Yeah, he didn't get into RADA, and the teacher there that said that he wasn't to be going in, he wasn't good enough actor, said, you should definitely get a new profession. And he was interviewed.
That was a fumble, wasn't it?
Yeah, whoa. Interviewed him, and he's not like a good actor. He's like one of the best in the world. And yeah, and he's so nice that when he was interviewed on TV saying, what would you like to say to that person that refused you entry to RADA now?
Thanks, probably.
And he just went, my body of work speaks for itself. So that was like a fuck you without saying fuck you. That was a polite way. He didn't actually retort back to it, which is good.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to lower himself to somebody else's standards.
Exactly.
Level, it's like...
I bet that guy gets stick for it, even if he's alive, even today. I bet it's like kids watch films of him being like, he's not very good, is he, Dad? Yeah.
RADA's done that famously to a lot of people. They didn't let Ewan McGregor in and loads of other people. But here's the thing about wherever Gary Oldman went, whatever drama school he went to, he was going to be an amazing actor anyway, because when people were leaving college and wanted to go to drama school, everyone was like, oh, I want to go to East 15 because that's where Gary Oldman went. They thought it was the training, but it's not the training. It's the kind of person, actor, and the kind of amazing imagination and craft that Gary Oldman has. So, yeah.
Exactly. exactly. That's it. Like you can say it's a school that made them, or it just happens to be that school has the best person just accidentally. It's got nothing to do with the school.
100%. 100%.
And he's bizarrely he does, but this happens a lot as well. Like for instance, before I even mention it, you know what I'm talking about. But Leonardo DiCaprio not getting any accolades until recently, and probably for the wrong film. But he doesn't have that. He's got loads of awards, but he hasn't got many of the headliner ones. Like he got for the Academy Awards, he got nominated for Tinker Tailor 2011. That was his first nod ever.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Which is stupid because most of his greatest stuff has been prior to that. He won for Darkest Hour, where he played Winston Churchill.
Yeah, he was amazing as that.
And he got nominated again a few years ago for Mank, which was a terrible film. But he was good in it.
Now people that vote have to actually watch movies. Like maybe he'll start winning some things.
Yeah, you never know. But he's received loads of like other accolades, like Academy Awards, Golden Globes, BAFTAs, Primetime Emmy Awards.
I thought he should have been nominated for Leon. His performance in Leon is insane as that corrupt cop.
But again, even when he's in the small roles like that, or Fifth Element, or like True Romance, he steals every scene.
Oh, is that when he's the stoner with the weird glass eye?
Yeah, and he's got dreadlocks. He's
He's a creepy character, that guy. Yeah,
but he's only in it. He's in it for like 2 minutes.
But actually, wait, saying that, he's in Lawless, and I think he only came on board because Tom Hardy was like, "Do you want to come into it just for a couple of scenes?" He's like, "Well, seeing as you're on board, yeah, I'll do it, sure." And he has those little moments with Shia LaBeouf where he plays the Tommy gun guy.
I forget that.
He's got 2 scenes in it. And the thing that annoyed me the most is because the whole world knows the kind of amazing actor he is, they used those 2 scenes in the trailer for Lawless to get your ass in the seat. And he's only in 2 scenes. He's in like 4 minutes of the movie. And
Have you seen Slow Horses? I haven't got around to watching it. Apparently,
yeah, I've started watching it. He's phenomenal in that.
Well, the other thing as well, like in the 90s, like we just mentioned before, I wouldn't say his life was in turmoil, but he just got divorced and he just got a new wife and then he just got divorced again. So he's a bit, his personal life might not be as steady, but he was an alcoholic in the 90s, self-confessed. You know, he was drink driving in 91. He put himself into rehab in 1994. This is like a normal thing for Hollywood people, but I didn't expect
look at Robert Downey Jr. back in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
he's always in the news.
That's an extreme example, but I didn't expect it of Gary Oldman, to be honest. But as I said, he put himself into rehab in 94 and he's been sober since 97. So for almost 30 years, he hasn't touched the drop, which is incredible. And it was 97 when he had those assault charges. Literally, that probably was the year when he went, "I'm never drinking again. I can't."
Or he got sober and just started beating people up instead. It's like a new vice.
Well, I can't. He probably just can't risk losing his kids for like some
career,
some drunk. Or
did he have kids in 97?
Yes, he's had kids since like the 80s. So with Leslie Manville, he's his first wife. But yeah, I mean, it's mad. And like we said, he's done loads of different sort of acting and stuff. And the things that were flagged up when I was doing my research was the main headlines, not the main films. We'll go into that in a second without everyone. But he actually acted in music videos. So he's in a David Bowie music video. He's in an Annie Lennox music video. And he's in a Guns N' Roses music video.
What?
All the greats did that, though. Do you remember Wesley Snipes in the Bad video?
Yeah, that was quality.
Did you know that, Drew? You know the movie
we all know that.
Bad,
we
when
all
you're
know
in the car park. Yeah, Wesley Snipes is knocking about in the back. Or that Breaking movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme as a dancing extra with spandex on.
Good old Van Damme. But the biggest franchises he's been in, because he doesn't normally do franchises, but he's been in 3 big ones, which is
the biggest
Harry Potter one,
Batman,
Dark Knight as Jim Gordon, and Slow Horses, playing Jackson Lamb.
That's a show, though, isn't it? It's not really a.
But that's still a franchise.
I suppose.
Still a franchise. But we should probably get on to the first thing, and I think Drew's going to have something to tell us about it. But when I was doing my research, I did not know this. Now, Nil by Mouth is one of the best films.
Directed.
Full stop. And it's starring Kathy Burke and Ray Winston, but I didn't know he wrote it and directed it. And his sister is in it. and his sister
That's what I
Mo's
was
in
going
it.
to say. All linking all those things, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he finally got his sister involved in a project that he was working on. And the story behind this is actually to fund Nail by Mouth. He took the part by Luc for Luc Besson's Fifth Element. That's why he took that role in particular, because he's like, that'll actually help fund Nail by Mouth.
Oh, because that's in 97 as well. So 97 is the year he gets accused of assault. He goes sober. Like when you connect these films to his personal life,
Yeah.
that's when he was like, he was a producer in it as well. He did everything on Nail by Mouth.
But do you know what's even more haunting? Based on that story you just said about the fact of domestic violence and stuff like that, Nail by Mouth is some of the most horrendous, graphic domestic violence I've ever seen on screen. I don't know if you've seen Nail by Mouth. It's absolutely, it's talk about close to the bone. I mean, you can literally, it's absolutely
it's
brutal.
disturbing, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he wrote and directed it, but he couldn't get it made because he didn't have enough money, even though he had big names attached as well. That's when he was like, I'm going to do the Luc Besson. I'm going to play that character in The Fifth Element. And that role alone helped fund Fifth Element, man.
Yeah, because that was in the same year. James, you're making lots of noises. Stop it.
Is crazy things happening?
He's looking.
Staring out into
I thought he was
wilderness.
giving me a death stare, but I think he's like confused at something.
No, I think something's going on.
Oh,
Can he hear us?
You can't hear me, can you?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
I can't hear you guys now.
I just said you're making tons of noises.
That's why you can't hear us.
He's just clunking away.
Oi, oi.
You have to come out and come in again.
Go on then. Go on. Can you? There we go. Right, he's gone.
His volume's really loud, though. I was just saying that I think his volume's...
It sounded all right on my end.
Oh, really? It's on my end, he sounds so loud that I think he can't hear us.
Ah, here he is. He's back again. Can you hear us all right?
Damn it.
We can hear you, James.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. I was trying to use my external mic because I'm losing my voice, so I'm not talking very loud. That's why it's probably
your
quiet.
volume is pretty loud now.
How is it?
Yeah. So you're all right.
Okay. Yeah, I've been losing my voice.
You're just making a lot of clunking noises. It was distracting. And then
I was plugging this thing in to try and get this on, but I'm going to order some of them lapel mics this week.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's a genius idea.
Because tiny little things clip on and I can just plug it into my phone and have it anywhere. It's pretty helpful because Paul's were really good the other day. I'm not getting them ones, but I'm getting similar.
Sennheiser's a really good one.
Yeah, I'm getting ones called Holy Land. They're literally like the size of a button and they just like clip on.
Cool.
So what did I miss?
Should we go into did you have anything more on Nail by Mouth, Drew, or should we?
No, that was pretty much it. I was trying to remember the young lad in it that's in he's in Essex Boys. I can't remember it. Charlie something.
Charlie Creed Miles.
Yeah, man. Another amazing actor. Great actor.
Never heard of him.
Oh my god, yeah.
He's in The Fifth Element as well.
Yeah. He plays the guy that. Well, he's like the sidekick to Gary Oldman's character. He's the one with the he's holding the
the
papers or whatever. That's
the problem with doing sort of deep dives sometimes is that we're talking about a lot of films at once because we're talking about an individual. So we're talking about 20 films in his life, and we haven't seen some of them, or we last time we saw them was like 20 years ago. So like the first one. Again, he was in a bunch of stuff, but the first proper film he was in really was 1991, Lee Harvey Oswald, playing Lee Harvey Oswald in JFK.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing, yeah. With Kevin...
Costner.
Yeah, Kevin Costner, yeah.
Yeah, and Walter Matthews in it.
Yeah, it's got a serious cast, though, the JFK.
Yeah, but I don't remember very well. It was a long time ago.
It was Oliver Stone, wasn't it? Wasn't it an Oliver Stone production?
Correct. He directed it, yeah. And then 1992, you got your Bram Stoker's Dracula, which
with Wyoming Rider?
Yeah.
Can you? Is this your dyslexia or
Maybe.
or you just
Maybe.
rubbish at
We own
mentioning?
a rider.
What did I say?
You called her a little shoplifter.
You said Winona or something.
You said wine. You called her a Weimaraner. Weimaraner rider.
Say her name.
Wyoming?
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Why are you saying Wyoming?
What is it? What is it?
What, one of the most famous actors in the world? Winona Ryder.
Winona.
Yeah,
Winona.
Winona Ryder.
Yeah, that's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's not.
She likes
Winona.
shoplift, doesn't she?
No, that's very hard for my mouth. That is really difficult.
That's what she said.
Sex tape.
Me and James said this different things, but the same topic.
You meant the same thing. I just got spit roasted by the two of you. That was brutal.
That's season 3 special.
That's what she said.
Title of my That's What She Said sex tape. Yeah, right in the middle there.
By the way, quick promo for the merch. Them not so much this one, but them black t-shirts are like super nice, aren't they? Really good quality.
Yeah.
All organic cotton.
Yes.
Nice.
Or whatever it is.
No, it's good. Nice. Good quality from T-Mill. Get your merch at Rage Well.
Plant-based packaging.
Boom. But yeah, so Bram Stoker's Dracula. When I think of Gary Oldman, I see him as Dracula. That's my first thought of him, because that was such a seminal role that I can't. Obviously, he's done amazing roles since, but that's the most transformative. Like I said, he was quite young then, and he looks old as shit as well, doesn't he? Well, he's got 2 stages, and he looks old.
He's got a moustache in the Dracula thing.
Yeah.
Little hit of tash.
Well, he's like a very handsome, sort of long, dark hair,
that's
Lothario, and then it flips, and then he's like an old guy with like receding hairline and stuff like that.
But he looks like Sirius Black, actually, in that.
Yeah. Well, it depends which one, because when he's in that look, he
definitely no, that's quite the look. Yeah, that's crazy.
But when he's in his younger look,
it looked like he was licking a stamp.
Man. With Winona.
That's like the love version of Sirius Black when he's running off with Winona Ryder.
Well, that's the thing. It's described as a love horror,
which is almost a bit like Nosferatu, right? It's a bit of a raunchy, because they made the vampire thing a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Sexy,
yeah.
A little bit.
But
wait. Sorry, I just had to laugh at something. I'm just looking through there's 2 films I have to bring up, but one made me laugh because I completely forgot he was in it, and it's just so funny looking at his filmography, because either side of it you've got like The Firm, Immortal Beloved, JFK, Criminal Law, Dark Knight, Book of Eli, Oppenheimer.
You're spilling everything. We're going through these.
No, Kung Fu Panda 2.
Yes, yeah.
He's the peacock, isn't he?
Oh, is he?
Is he?
It just looks. I knew he was so out of place in his filmography. It's ridiculous, because nearly everything he does is like crime related or something. Actually, quite a lot of his things are crime related.
Yeah,
and then you've got Kung Fu Panda just poked in there.
He doesn't do much comedy, which is
serious or serious.
It's funny, but right.
I'm serious. He's serious.
Serious is serious. Right. Here's a fact for you. I forgot to mention Kung Fu Panda, but that's one of the biggest franchises he's also been in as well. But I don't think he was that important to be mentioned in that sense.
I don't think most people know he's in it, if I'm honest.
No. Right, so can anyone guess a number that Gary Oldman's movies have grossed in total?
What? In total? That's a ridiculous number to guess.
Well, exactly.
Like, just Oppenheimer alone was probably close to $1 billion.
He's not in Oppenheimer.
No, it can't have been that much.
No.
He's not in Oppenheimer.
Yes, he is.
Oh, shit, yeah, he is. He's the priest. Not the priest. The president.
Well, just Batman alone, the 3 Batmans would have been billions, surely.
Don't think any of them were billions.
Actually,
combined.
Dude, that's a perfect example, actually. Gary
Kung
Oldman.
Fu Panda would have been hundreds of millions.
He was what?
He's in Oppenheimer. Hang on. He's in Oppenheimer, and he transforms again. Again, this whole chameleon thing. Whoom.
Yeah.
He's in one scene in Oppenheimer
for seconds.
And,
for a minute.
And they had to build the whole thing. If you watch the making of Oppenheimer, that is insane. They were really nervous because they're like, "Listen, we've got Gary Oldman for one day. We can't fuck this up. What's happening with the location? We don't have the location. Oh, sorry. What? What do you mean we don't have the location? We don't have the location. We're going to have to build a fake location that looks like we're inside the White House, right?" And they had to build it. Like, mate, seriously, the behind the scenes of Oppenheimer, where they're talking about that particular scene with Gary Oldman. is
Answer to your question, Kev, I'd say
Yeah.
25 billion.
Well, that's insane. Do you know how much 1 billion is? That is
Yeah,
That's
one
a million.
Deadpool Wolverine.
that's a million.
Yeah, one
no, it's
Deadpool Wolverine is a billion.
100,000 million.
100 million. A
Yeah,
billion.
one movie can make a billion nowadays.
Most people's discography are in the millions, maybe hundreds, but not.
Yeah, but the 3 Batman films must have been 1 billion.
Give me a number. What's your guess?
27.
Because 27 is insane, so it's nowhere near that.
Really?
Nowhere near that. No. Think about most of these films in the 80s and 90s. Even if they were massive hits, they would have got like 60 million. Maybe.
Are you talking
Yeah,
about,
but they would have got like DVD and Blu-ray and video sales.
how much money he's worth, or how much he made from one
I
particular?
thought it meant what? Oh, I thought it meant what the movies grossed.
Yeah, it's what James said. Yeah.
Oh,
The movies he's been in worldwide. Ooh. So shall I just tell you, because you're just saying random numbers
Yeah, this
now.
is painful.
His films have grossed over $11 billion worldwide, which puts him as one of the highest grossing actors of all time.
So James was almost right. He said 7 billion.
He said
Oppenheimer
20
just
billion.
missed a billion.
I said 20 billion.
Yeah, 20 billion, but Oppenheimer was nearly a billion. That's one movie. He's been in like 50 films.
Yeah, but it's only billions never been mentioned
Billion
except
didn't
for the last
exist in the
5
80s.
years.
Yeah,
So-
billion didn't exist in the 80s.
Yeah. The 80s films and 90s films, massively successful ones, were still nowhere near 100 million.
That was close. What was it in the end? 20 billion, you said?
Oh
11.
my God.
11.
That
It's
many.
quite a lot. Do you know what's really sad? I bet the Rocks have like come to more than that. And the body of work isn't there, is it?
Definitely not. No. So, yeah, I mean, Bram Stoker's Dracula, I forgot Anthony Hopkins was in it as well, and Richard E. Grant, and Carrie Elwes.
They've done a few things together, haven't they? Andy Hopkins and him.
Yeah,
It's an insane
there's
cast.
a lot of people in that. I haven't seen Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's on TV at the moment, or on Netflix or something. So I'm going to watch that, because that I've got that. And what's the Tom Cruise one? Interview the Vampire. I've got those two I want to watch as well.
Well, crossover. Tom Cruise did The Firm. Gary Oldman did The Firm. Two different films. Was one remake?
Yeah, he did the street fighting one. Not street fighting one, the Hooligans. The Firm.
Don't know. One was called The Firm.
the British
Both
one.
called The Firm. They're both in a different film.
Yeah, it's a British one. Yeah.
Yeah, one's about corrupt lawyers and a corrupt kind of business that's trying to take out their old members. And then the other one is a bit like kind of Football Factory, but before it was Football Factory.
Can I pretty mention, because it's not worth going into this film, because quite blatantly none of us have seen it. Even though the cast is quite huge: Peter Dinklage, Kate Beckinsale, Matthew McConaughey, Patricia Arquette, Dana Sesson, don't know who she is, but Gary Oldman from 2002, probably one of Peter Dinklage's first movies, called, and this was actually what pinged me to say Gary Oldman for this
Tiptoes.
little deep dive. I accidentally saw an interview on Tiptoes where Gary Oldman is a midget, Drew. And they were saying that how rude is this? Do you know how they made him a midget?
Dwarf.
Dwarf, midget, whatever.
I mean, I think
he was
in this film, it was a midget. He was classified
yeah,
as a midget.
Yeah, he was a midget.
Yeah.
Do you know how they made him a midget with all like special effects in 2002?
Just a wide angle lens above
Oh,
his
is
head.
it just when you're on your knees and you put your shoes under your feet?
Yeah, he put his shoes on his knees and waddled.
Yeah. That's so bad. We did that when we were ushers. That's so bad. I'm going
That's
straight.
2002. That wasn't even like the 80s when it was like there was no CGI. You could have done something, couldn't they?
Yeah,
By the way, Lord of the
there's
Rings.
Gary Oldman. He's like half the height of the sofa.
Yeah, he's just kneeling down. Bear in mind, Lord of the Rings was a thing in 2002. They knew how to make people small. It wasn't hard.
Yeah, downsize people.
Yes. They didn't have to, they did it in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. They didn't have to get Gary Oldman quite literally kneeled with legs that, look at this.
There's him on the sofa, and his body is clearly inside the sofa, and it's two little tiny fake legs put on him.
Try and get one of him standing up, because he's got no knees. Because obviously when you're on your knees, you've got no knees, have you? So he's got literally two stumps.
Well, that was the joke.
Like
I saw that on the podcast when they're taking the mick out of it, because it's such an insane thing.
Because little people have little legs, don't you? But they clearly have knees. But he's just like he looks like a sort of a little
This is an episode that could go so off the cliff
It
here.
looks like a little stick. It looks so rude. Because his body's not disproportionate. So he's got a normal sized body. And then look at this, Drew. Look how big his body is.
That's crazy.
He's just kneeling down.
That's crazy.
And like I say, Lord of the Rings was. I think the Lord of the Rings had been out over a year when that had been made, so there's no excuse for that sort of shenanigans.
That's mad. Yeah. Well, let's go back. Where are we at? So after Bram Stoker's Dracula, you got True Romance, which, as we
Amazing.
already kind of discussed, with Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Dennis Hopper, Val
Brad
Kilmer, Brad
Brad
Pitt,
Pitt.
Christopher Walken, Samuel Jackson. It's one of his early
And it
roles.
was written by Tarantino.
Written by Tarantino, and then that's how
Also-
he met Samuel Jackson and became his.
Yeah.
Once Samuel Jackson was in Tarantino, he was in all of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what's quite funny about that though? Patricia Arquette, all them years later, was in Tiptoes. I bet they looked at each other and were like, "What the fuck? What's happened to us?"
Yeah,
We did
yeah, she
True
was.
Romance
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that lot.
That's like
and Leon,
9 years
and then
later.
he's on his knees with a pair of shoes on him. It'd be like, What's happened to our career?"
Well, that's it. Like
Well,
2 years
Patricia
later.
Arquette's career has been amazing, though. She's done some amazing TV series.
Oh, I love
lately.
Patricia Arquette. Yeah, but like 2 years
Also, it's a
later,
terrible movie. It got like 1% on Rotten
he's
Tomatoes.
in Leon. Now that with Jean
it's only 2%.
Reno,
Yeah,
Natalie
one of the best
Portman,
films ever.
just
That line where he says,
incredible.
"Kill everyone," and he's like, "Everyone, everyone."
So when he's
And
got that like
that's memed now,
bomb
isn't
at
it?
the end,
That's you during a podcast when we don't shut up. Stop interrupting, everyone.
it's one of my favourite films of all time.
But you know when he takes the pill and he crushes it,
Yeah,
he does all that weird stuff. Supposedly, I mentioned this. I'm aware that I'm repeating myself. I mentioned this in one of our other episodes that he based his on a tarantula for some reason, that particular character. And then Jean Reno based his character on a monkey. And when you watch the film with that perception, it's fascinating because like the way he takes the pills is like he's digesting like
prey.
flies and prey, like, and he does this thing with his back. It's just haunting.
That scene when Natalie Portman is walking past her parents' house, her family's house, when they've just been murdered, and she walks straight past it to like knock on his door, is one of the best scenes in cinema history.
Yeah,
Oh man,
rather
the
than
movie.
knocking on
Just
her
she
own
thinks
door.
to walk, and then she's
Go.
like, "Open the door, please."
Oh
And their
yeah,
relationship's quite like dark as well, isn't it? It's quite a weird because he's just such an off character.
I thought
there's
it
a
was
rumor
beautiful.
behind that though. It was more twisted than that, and they had to remove a lot of stuff because Natalie
It did
Portman.
get a bit weird, didn't it?
Yeah. They
It's
had
more
to
from her side than his, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was brilliant in that. She's actually a very underrated actress. It doesn't do enough, I don't think.
Well, that's it. Like in the 90s, Gary Oldman just had a massive run of villains because True Romance, Leon, Fifth Element, Air Force One. He was
Shit! Yeah,
he was
Air Force One. He's amazing
he was
in
a
that.
villain and everything. And one of the interesting facts I saw, I think we all would have guessed a little bit, but not 100%. But he literally has never had the same accent or vocal cadence in any two films.
I can't think of him being English.
He's English in a bunch, but he'll have a Cockney, or he'll be a Northern, or he'll be.
I
Yeah.
just can't think
Yorkshire.
of him in English. Whenever I think of him now, I think Batman, I think Leon, I think those sorts of things. I don't think
He'll
anything.
do the clip. He'll do the what was it? The thingy night. What was it? The one where he plays
The Dark Knight.
Winston Churchill. The Darkest Hour. Sorry.
Oh, Darkest Hour. Sorry.
Yeah, he speaks like that. He's speaking like that.
And it's
I haven't seen that.
and he's done Winston Churchill twice, I think, and he did different versions of him, like a younger one and an
He's a
older
proper
one.
actor. Isn't he?
And I think, oh my god, I think the guy that did the makeup, oh god, I can't remember his name now, Mateus or something. He's the same guy that did the Penguin makeup for Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I did. I heard about
Yeah.
that recently, actually.
Yeah, the guy that did the makeup for The Darkest Hour, I think, was the same.
And I've just looked. This is not a film I remember particularly well, but I do remember seeing it. He was in a film with Demi Moore in her heyday as well, in 1995, A Scarlet Letter, and had Robert Duvall in it as well.
Never seen that.
I remember it being very good. And when you see him, he looks completely different. He's like proper, like handsome guy. You forget how handsome he is because you just think of Gary Oldman as this kind of rugged, character actor that changes persona and visual. But when they let him just be a handsome man, he is very handsome.
Well, do you remember, was he in a film Romeo is Dying or Romeo is Bleeding or?
I don't know. Haven't got to that one yet.
I thought that was one of his earlier ones though. Okay, yeah, cool.
Do you know when?
I don't, but it's
Romeo is Bleeding, 93.
Yeah, it's a fucking awesome film.
Don't think I've seen it. I mean,
Yeah.
I could have, but I have
I was
no
just
idea.
going for a huge Gary Oldman phase when I was at drama school, and someone mentioned Romeo is Bleeding as one of his first ones. And he's, again, I think he's like a cop or a detective, and there's a girl with like an animatronic arm or something. Like, it's really
Got Juliette Lewis in it.
Yeah, it's crazy good, man. It's crazy
She's
good.
crazy. She is.
But then there's the big one that, again, like, yeah, Dracula was one of the bigger films, but I think The Fifth Element was the most commercial big film he's ever done. That was, because obviously it's Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis he sold tickets.
Yeah. But also, again, it's Luc Besson, isn't it? So straight off the back of Leon, he's kept him and gone, I've got this fucking cool sci-fi idea.
Yeah, good point.
Boom.
Yeah. And Mila Jovovich as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Would you remember when that came out in the cinema, mate? I was blown away. Like, that movie, and it's got Chris Tucker as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like, it's so good, man. It's so.
Who looks the weirdest, Chris Tucker or Gary Oldman? They both look proper mental. I mean, that's Gary Oldman with that weird haircut.
Yeah, with that weird like plastic bit and
Then that meal or whatever, just Resident Evil from there on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but that is like, her outfit in this film is like iconic because it's all from a cartoon, isn't it? A comic book, isn't it?
Chris Tucker was great. He just disappeared, didn't he? After like Rush Hour 3 or something.
Did you hear that Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan are trying to get Rush Hour 4 made?
No way.
5, whatever.
Right, let's be careful because it's super racist. Like when you go back and watch it now.
Yeah, but it's allowed to be because it's a black guy and a Chinese guy taking the piss out of being a black guy and a Chinese guy. So that's
so
still allowed
funny,
today.
The first half of the first film, he doesn't realise he speaks English, and he's just like, "Do you think?"
Oh, that conversation when he has that Chinese guy, he goes,
"Oh,
who are you?
Says, who are you?
I'm you.
I am me.
I'm you. You need
me.
You need me. I don't need me. I need you. Yes, you need me. No.
No, he's like, I am you. He's like, well, you tell me who me is, and he's like, who do you think I am? That is him.
Yes,
Chris Tucker is so funny.
Oh, you don't understand.
Don't know where he went.
Go see that guy. Yeah, who's that guy? No, anyway, yeah,
that guy's me. He's like, no, what? I'm gonna knock you out.
So when he just starts dancing for no reason as well, don't he? He's just like...
that scene though, is so good.
It's got Jackie Chan in the back of the car going, "Whoa,
what is
it good for? Absolutely nothing."
Yeah, that's it. It's so good, man.
I might go back and watch them. They were such good movies. And Jackie Chan at his best doing his stunts and the gun stuff and that when they're teaching him how to take the gun. And
yeah,
he's one of the best in the old
How
Jackie.
did Gary Oldman lead us there, though? Oh, wait, it was Chris
Tucker led us there. Well,
Chris Tucker led us there.
he had a good year because 1997, apart from the abuse allegations and going sober from being an alcoholic, he did The Fifth Element and Air Force One.
See, Harrison Ford was talking about this. Like, I think he should have been nominated for that kind of role. Like, he was amazing as the villain. Like, you forget he's a British actor. His Russian was so good.
Yeah. And you watched Air Force One pretty recently as well, didn't you?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Great movie.
Oh, yeah, man, it was so good because I remember at one point we were going to do like an episode on it or something, or like some of Harrison Ford's. Harrison Ford would be a fucking great deep dive, actually.
Yeah, especially now he's had a bit of a resurgence in the last couple of years.
But yeah, he was just saying, he said to be in a movie, it's mad when you see big movie stars talking about other movie stars. So when Harrison Ford was being interviewed, he said, yeah, man, he was saying to be in a movie with Gary Oldman was an absolute pleasure. He's like, the guy's just magic to work with. Like, there's a really funny thing though, when Gary Oldman was being interviewed on, I don't know if it's David Letterman or one of these shows, and it's about like him farting, because in Slow Horse, his character farts and he wakes himself up.
Yeah.
And then he says, we realized that a lot of your characters could have been made much better by if you had fart noises. Actually, I kind of want to show this. We should put it to the camera and let people see it.
No, I've seen it. Yeah, we can put.
Can I add it to this thing? Can I just put it up now?
Well,
or is it?
We can do a quick do.
Don't take forever
Pause
finding
back in a minute.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. You
I
guys.
would say why he's doing that. That's the best thing about the deep dives. We go off on tangents and think of other stuff we wouldn't normally think about.
Yeah.
Like talk about Chris Tucker for 5 minutes.
Well, that's it, because we're talking about different films and stuff like that, and they're just gonna pop up with different actors and different themes and stuff.
The Ocado orders here.
Here we go, guys.
Should have been improved.
Turn the volume up.
Yes, because I have here an example. We took some of our favorite performances of yours and added that
Yeah,
undefined.
that looks like you when you're older.
quality. Here we go.
And I bid you welcome, Mr. Harcourt, to my house. I want you to listen to me very carefully, Harry. Get off my plane.
He's crying.
Any regrets? Holding it this long?
Brilliant.
Je ne sais quoi.
That one is that. What's the one where they sat down? Is that Oppenheimer or something? Where they
legend.
sat there and the guy's like looking at him.
No, that's The Darkest Hour. But what's so funny is that the kid that was looking at him that was in Peaky Blinders, the way he looks at him was going, it like works so well. Like, it's so funny.
That's
and
why he
Miguel
never
was
wins.
crying, and he's such a good sport. Because hang on, let me just play this little bit. This is.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, could have helped a few.
Could have been.
Could have helped a few.
Could have been.
Okay. Do you think any of your previous
Brilliant.
characters?
I like when people are a bit like that. Though.
Yeah,
They're not
what a
like
legend.
sincere.
It's being
Actually
like
crying with laughter, but so am I. I got wet eyes.
that was awesome.
Amazing.
So good.
So yeah, the next few films. Well, he's got so many films. We'll have to brush past a lot, otherwise we'll be talking forever. We want to kind
I'll
of
be here till midnight.
not be on too long. But like he was in Hannibal, as James pointed out earlier.
Great movie. I've watched that film so many times. That might be one of my most watched movies. Like, it's up there. I've watched it so many times. In a weird way. I don't think
How
it's
bizarre!
better
It's
than
like a
Silence of the
great
Lambs.
film.
No, but it's an easy watching film with actually. It's an easy watching film with actually a good story and plot because Silence of the Lambs isn't the sort of
Ray
film you
Fiennes,
watch
isn't it?
over and over again. It's a bit heavy. Whereas this one is like you've got the prequel to Silence of the Lambs, so you've already got the build up of the characters. You've got the heavy stuff already, and now you've got just Hannibal Lecter going like full fucking psycho and like cutting off Ray Liotta's head and eating his brain on an airplane and giving it to a kid. And like just doing mad shit like that, and it's like it's an easy watching film with actually a very good story. And when he cuts the guy's
Larynx.
stomach and pushes him out, no, his stomach, and then pushes him off the bell tower, and he hangs, and on his stomach goes. Bleh.
Whoa.
There's a bit where he's got a copper, and he ties him, like hangs him, but then cuts his stomach. So when the torsion comes from the hanging, all of his guts just fall out and like hit the floor.
Wow.
But it's a great horror crime film because I can't remember the lady that plays Starling in that. It's obviously not
Julianne Moore.
It's Julianne Moore, who I think is brilliant.
Yeah.
And again, another actress that doesn't get enough credit.
She's amazing.
Who's the original one again?
Jodie
Sorry,
Foster.
Jodie Foster. It is still Clarice Starling, isn't it? They didn't
Yeah, it's
change the character.
Clarice.
Still her.
Yeah. This is
Hello,
later
Clarice.
on, so everyone's a bit older, I think.
And he gets hold of her, and I can't remember his name now, but Ray Liotta's character. And he's like cut round his head, and he's like cutting out bits.
God,
Paul. His name's Paul.
He feeds him his
Yeah.
own brain.
He's like,
It's-
"Come on, Paul, where's your manners?" And he's like, "It is honestly the most super disturbing movie, but a really like good watch that isn't
might have to
like
give it
too
another
heavy,
try,
but
'cause
still a bit
it-
silly."
I don't really remember
Excellent
very
movie.
Oh,
well.
James, you sold it. I might have to
Yeah.
revisit.
Excellent. I had it on VHS. That's why I watched it so much. It was one of them ones where like it was around the time a lot of video shops were like closing down, so like I bought it in like the big cases that the VHSs were in, like not the
Yeah, I
shop
love
ones.
those. Yeah.
And I watched it to death because, like I said, I love the original, but it's not the sort of film you can stick on and like enjoy. It's quite like
That was the only problem with VHS. When you watch something again and again, like if I watched a video like 30 times, it
Tracking
starts.
lines.
Yeah, tracking lines. You're like, you bastard.
I'm
It's like the tracking lines are like tree lines of how many times you've watched something. You're like, fuck.
I'm strongly considering. I keep an eye on it now because I really want to get a VHS player and start getting some old videotapes and watching them like how they're meant to be. Because I've watched a few films recently that are old movies and they've clearly been upscaled, which is fine. I think it's good, but I think sometimes it takes away a little bit of the original sense.
I had Training Day on VHS. That was one of my favorites.
And I never watched it.
Amazing.
I owned it for like 10 years. I never watched it. That's why I watched it the other month.
I had track
Never
lines
watched it.
all over that motherfucker. I watched that film so many times, almost religiously. Now I own it.
If I can find one MTV VHS combi things, like I might pick one up because videos you can get.
I've got a VHS player in the house.
But I want one with the telly. I don't want to keep buying it. I want a telly and the VHS.
Did you come
I just want it a little.
My house when I had like about 2,000 VHSs in my bedroom.
Yeah,
I lived in that bedroom.
Yeah,
it was like Blockbusters.
All the shelves and stuff.
Yeah, like the weirdest shit. Loads of like Brandon Lee B movies and stuff.
Everything.
What was that film? Sorry, because I was thinking that could be a nice little segue with Denzel Washington when we mentioned Training Day into that one with Gary Oldman, where it's set in the kind of post-apocalyptic.
Oh, Book of Eli.
Book of Eli, man. The behind the scenes of that as well and how that film got made is mad as well because they had to get names on before. I think it was Denzel Washington signed on. And then as soon as Denzel Washington was on, Gary Oldman was like, well, yeah, man, that sounds great. I'm well up for working with him. And that was also partly the reason. No, hang on. I think maybe Gary Oldman was signed on first and Denzel Washington agreed to do it because he really wanted to work with Gary Oldman. And they had all these really fucking cool scenes. I don't know if you remember. Have you seen Book of Eli?
Ages ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago. Really Not cool enough to talk about it.
Beer's like fine, like you can get a beer anytime. And as soon as you try to order a water from the bar, they're like, hey, that stuff is very hard to get. And it's like
Waterworld on land, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's so cool though, man. And like, yeah, I think again, Gary Oldman, I think, spoiler alert, is like a villain and he's trying to, he's like a kind of corrupt mayor of like this kind of like
another bad guy, yeah.
Yeah, another bad guy.
Denzel's had one for Deep Dive in the Future as well.
Oh,
he's so good.
Also,
even though he just plays Denzel Washington, the hard man these days, but still.
Also, when in 2001, when he did Hannibal, the same year, this shows his diversity. He was in Friends.
Oh my god, he had some of the funnest. He did the spit scene with Matt LeBlanc.
I can't even remember which scene it is.
He wasn't in Friends.
They're in a scene together and they're on stage. He says, "Oh, I'm in this play with this great actor." And like, I remember when you watch watch the playback, everyone claps.
Doesn't he crack on?
And he spits.
He
spits. The best actors always. And he's like, "Oh man."
Doesn't he start coming on to his girlfriend or?
I think so. Yeah, he's like a sleaze.
Yeah, he's a sleaze in it, isn't he? He comes on.
Well, I remember him getting his characters drunk because they're like. He wants to get the show done quickly. He wants to do the show or the rehearsal so that he can go and see his girlfriend or the girl that he's seeing. But what happens is he thinks, "Oh, it'll be a really quick rehearsal." And then when they're at the stage door, like Gary Oldman's like that, "Hey," and he's like, "Have you been drinking?" "No." And it's like he's completely pissed, and he's like, "Just use it." It's really funny.
Do you know what'd be a really good one? Like, not anytime soon, because you probably have to refresh ourselves. Do like a full-on Friends special guest thing, because Friends is one of the unique things where they had all these superstars after they were superstars, because they had Brad Pitt was in it for a while, a few episodes.
We could talk about every guest star because
you had Tom Selleck was in it for quite a long time. You had who's a really famous English actress that's quite posh.
The one that marries.
The Ross's wife in the very first one. What's her name?
Her name is Helen Baxendale.
Yes, yeah.
But also, like, Paul Rudd was in it.
Paul Rudd, yeah, he's one of the final people. He's the one that Phoebe ends up marrying.
Giovanni Ribisi, yeah, from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Who's that model? You got John Favreau's in it as well.
So many people.
George Clooney was in it.
George Clooney was in it, yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I think there's loads of probably cameos as well that you forget that people just walked on and off.
Elle Macpherson was in it.
She was. I think she was Joey's girlfriend. Yeah, Van Damme had the monkey, didn't he? He was filming a scene with the monkey.
Julia Roberts, guys.
Julia Roberts. Yeah.
Marcel. Was it Marcel, the monkey?
Yeah, Marcel. And Morgan Fairchild actually played Bing. Played the
remember actually? Sorry, do you remember that episode with the monkey where he goes? They found some Scrabble letters in his chest. It was letters KEY. We think he was trying to spell monkey.
There's also quite a famous guy that plays Phoebe's brother briefly, who's in films like Boiler Room.
That was
Giovanni
Ribisi.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah.
So he's in Boiler Room,
He's
another one.
bigger
Of my top
people.
films.
You've got like
Amazing.
Bruce Willis, Christina
Bruce Willis.
Taylor,
I forget he's in it.
Kathleen
He's
Turner.
Ross's girlfriend's dad, isn't he?
Yeah.
His girlfriend's really young. Doesn't realise she's a student.
I mean, I could go on forever. The list is ridiculous here.
The list is huge.
That'd be a fun one to go over because I'd love to watch some old Friends.
Reese
episodes. They must
Witherspoon.
be on some sort of streaming.
They're on Netflix, man. They're all on
Reese
Netflix.
Witherspoon is Rachel's sister, is she?
Yeah, and they're together in the morning show on Apple as well. Yeah,
Oh,
Sean
that
Penn,
show had some people, didn't it?
Christina Applegate. Sean Penn's in it.
What?
Christina Applegate, that's her sister. Alec Baldwin, John Lovitz. There's a million people. Anyway, that's slightly off topic. In 2004 and 2005, he made the best two decisions of his financial career. Because in 2004, 2005, he was in Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban, and Goblet of Fire, as well as Batman Begins. He started.
I thought you were going to say he bought Bitcoin or something.
In the space of 12 months, he started the two of the biggest franchises in the world.
How many? I'm going to have to plead guilty. I've never actually watched a Harry Potter film from start to finish, so I don't really have any concept of how they go. How many was he in?
He's in 3.
There's like 7.
4. He's in Deathly Hallows as well. 4.
I saw one the other day that Reef was watching where it looked like Timothy Spall turned into a mouse and was running around the place.
Yeah, that was amazing. That is.
I don't know what the fuck was going on there.
That is Goblet of Fire, mate.
They thought he was bad and he wasn't, and he came. I mean, I've seen. You can imagine someone that's seen fragments of all the films. It's mental.
Goblet of Fire. It's really, really good.
But yeah, he was and Book of Eli's in the middle of that because that was 2010, and 2011 was Kung Fu Panda 2, and then back into his final appearance in Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows in 2011, and then that was Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy in 2011, where he gets his first Academy Award win.
Oh, that was a crazy cast though for Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy,
and then Lawless.
Yeah, that was when there was no budget. It was just like go nuts, wasn't it?
That's how busy this man is, right? Like, can you imagine that? Like, he's doing Book of Eli. He's also doing Call of Duty computer game voiceovers.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah, he's doing Kung Fu Panda.
If you got in Call of Duty, think when that thing kicked off, probably mid 2000s, it got big.
Well, yes,
when
Black Ops,
the first Modern Warfare came out.
He's doing Kung Fu Panda. He's doing Harry Potter, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, Lawless, and The Dark Knight Rises, all in the space of a year and a half.
Insane.
That's a lot. I know he wasn't major roles in that.
Also, Tom Hardy
playing Gordon,
Dark Knight Rises, and and Lawless.
Playing Jim Gordon probably was not months and months because he's only in small sections, but it was a huge role.
He brings such gravitas to that character, though. Like and again, he just transforms, doesn't he, with the moustache?
He really is in very little, though, isn't he, in their movies? But his parts are so instrumental.
Well, no, he's got big. I think he's got a bigger role in Batman Begins and the Dark Knight. Actually, he's got a big one in
Dark Knight Rises. Is more at the end, isn't he? When they're like, he realizes who he is.
Yeah.
Well, but he has a really interesting arc through the three of them.
Yeah, I think because the Dark Knight, he was really pivotal because he was the one that set up and saves him and protects him and lets him go and do his stuff.
The first one, he's very aware of the corrupt cops. Yeah. He's not going to be corrupt, isn't he?
But also off the back of that, though, in Dark Knight Rises, when he's at the table and he's about to speak to everybody at the Bruce Wayne's manor, he tucks in that letter, and that's what Bane finds out later on when they take him back to the kind of lair and stuff. So the whole plot is almost based on Gordon.
Yeah.
In a way,
it's a major role, even though it's But that's it. Some of the biggest roles, like we said before, like Silence of the Lambs, like he's only in it for like 10 minutes of a 2-hour film. And,
he's in Hannibal quite a lot,
but that's not the point I'm making. Jim Gordon, Gary Oldman, is not in it for a long time, but he is a very important part of that film. But then you
Isn't that mad though that Hannibal, I've obviously watched that film for what, 20, 30 years, or probably 25 years, I don't know when it came out. And
2001,
that guy
24
is
years.
such a great character. He's like, Cornell. He's just pushing him off into them pigs, isn't he? He's like, Cornell. It's like, I never realised it was Gary Oldman until literally today. I was like,
So
what?
good.
What? I was like, who is he in Hannibal? Is he one of the police officers or something? And I was like, no way. Could not believe it. With Morgan Werner or something. Morgan Varner
Isn't it
or
really
something.
good when you do watch a film from your youth that you know inside out, but things have changed and you know people better now, or or actors have got bigger. They might have been huge at the time, but you just didn't know them, and you go, "Oh shit!" I love
Mason
seeing that.
Verger is the guy who plays Mason Verger.
But then he goes on to do like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Child 44. Remember that would be quite a big one as well.
Oh yeah, that was
Was
again
he
with Tom
in Planet of
Hardy.
the Apes, or was he a voice actor, or was he actually in it?
He plays Dreyfus, whatever that
He
is.
plays one of the monkeys, I think.
Yeah, I watched the first
Oh,
one,
he's the main
and I
guy. He's the
wasn't
main
really
monkey.
down with it.
He's number one on the billing.
Oh, what's his name? It's not Dreyfus. It's not Cornelius.
No, it's Dreyfus is his name.
Caesar? Isn't
Oh,
Caesar
he's the main
main
monkey,
one?
main ape. Yeah.
First one, because I watched the first one, and I think it was when those really cool special effects were quite new, and I was a bit like, it's a bit sketchy.
Oh,
I never really gave the
good.
other ones a chance.
I still thought they were good. The newest one
I
was
need
really
to
good.
watch the next ones, but I remember the original ones.
The
And
very
it was like,
The latest one I thought was brilliant.
the very new one was really good from last year. Was really
maybe I
good.
need to like watch them because they've got to be
But
on
they're trying
something.
to steal bird eggs, but we've gone off on a massive
Yeah.
tangent.
So yeah, then 2017 is when he did Darkest Hour. I'm skipping about 10 films every time I talk about a main one because he has done a
Yeah,
lot.
skip. There's a lot of filler in
He's
there.
done a
I've
lot of
seen
crap
from
as
what
well, unfortunately.
Right.
I mean,
I wouldn't say it's crap. I'd say it's stuff I haven't watched, but I couldn't comment on it.
I fully expect him to be amazing in those films, but I don't know much.
I mean,
Well, I've heard that
Interstate 60
Slow
and
Horses,
State of Grace. I have
Sorry,
no idea
Drew?
what they are.
Slow Horses that James was talking about at the beginning. That's the thing that I think is really kind of picking up momentum at the moment on Apple TV.
Yeah. The latest ones, just to finish it off, the latest ones that he's done is Mank in 2020, then Hitman's Wife a couple of times in a sequel, Oppenheimer, and Slow Horses, which that's his next upcoming project, is this fourth season. I watched season 1, loved it. Sadie wasn't a big fan, so I just haven't found the time to on my own to watch the second.
That's the thing when you watch something with a partner and you feel obligated to either wait with them, but if they're not enjoying it, then you go off alone.
And you've got to find
trying
time on your own to watch something.
Yeah.
And it's
I will say one thing, just to tie on to that Friends tangent we went on. He also did Lost in Space, that time when they let Matt LeBlanc act in a movie. And then they were like, right, we're not doing this again. Nope.
That's mad. Straight off the back of, because they work together.
Maybe. I mean, one thing I will say is I hope things like Slow Horses and that find their way onto more I know Apple TV's mainstream, but it's not. Most people don't have it. They have Netflix and Prime. That's the two killers. Because I'm hoping that it gets a bit of a similar to what I hope happens with Mobland, actually, because I think it's on a bit of a not a dead network, but a very
restricted.
I don't know.
Yeah, juvenile network, an infant network, a network in its infancy.
Apple
TV is still something that people don't really buy into.
Apple's fucking
compared to Netflix and Prime. It must be like 1 in 100.
No, dude, Ted Lasso and
Apple's
all that lot. It's
quality
shrinking.
is
Apple
much
TV is
better than
huge.
any other program, and there's no streaming service that has the amount of quality. It doesn't have the volume of programs, but it has the quality.
What's going with it is also it doesn't charge you for having 4K. It doesn't have adverts. It's higher level, I think. Like you were saying, like you go into an episode, next episode, there's no messing around. It's not.
And you know if it's not for you, even the couple of programs I've started on Apple that I've never finished, like Sugar, for instance, it looks amazing. You can't deny the quality is higher than any other streaming service.
Yeah. It's huge.
I think Prime is sometimes the worst one. It's got so much stuff that it's hard to filter through to find good stuff. And there is good stuff on there, but it's just too much. But I've paid for
You also have to pay for it as well, which is annoying. So you're paying for Prime, but then you have to pay for movies again. You're like, that feels like
Paramount is one as well in its infancy. I think things like Mobland will suffer being on it, unfortunately. But I think because Yellowstone started on Prime, on Paramount, which is why I actually bought Paramount, and now it's on
Netflix now. But that's the thing with Paramount. I've paid for it just because I wanted to watch Mobland, so you'd shut the hell up, so I could, so we could actually watch it.
Was it worth it?
Totally. That's a great recommendation, James. Even Drew's on it now as well.
Just to put you in perspective, just to quickly put in perspective the Apple TV subscribers, there's currently about 45 million. That's good. That is good. Prime is at 220 million.
Well, yeah, it's been going longer, and everyone has Prime.
And Netflix is 301 million. That's why I'm saying the audience is so much bigger once they go.
Disney? That's not fair. That Netflix and Prime are very similar. I think Apple,
Disney Plus. Let's have a look. Let's make it fair. Let's put Disney Plus on there, because I cancelled Disney Plus. There wasn't enough content on there for me.
I paused it for a month. You can pause it. You can pause it for a month.
Yeah, you can freeze your account, can't you?
Yeah, which I
liked the fact that they bought the Star thing, so you could go and watch everything on Fox.
Yeah,
like they got good stuff Family Guy.
They had all the X-Files and stuff. Yeah, it's cool.
So how much is Disney on?
Number of subscribers, 150 million. So still, like
I
Apple
suppose
TV
kids. Actually, I take it back. It's not on the same platform. It's children, and every parent in the world has bought Disney so they can get their kids to shut up.
This is the thing when it's another £13 or £12 a month to pay for. It's a lot
kind of thing.
Yeah, Apple's the cheapest. I think Apple's like £6, $6.99.
I think a bonus for Apple is they're now on Prime, which is a big move for them. They're on Prime now.
Yeah.
Which they've only been on. They've been on it for a few months, admittedly.
You pay for all this.
Yeah, but I think Paramount are making good moves because they're putting a lot of very good movies on there. Like the Substance was on Paramount. Terrifier 3, not everyone's cup of tea. That was on Paramount. There's another one that's just come out that's on Paramount.
Small Things Like These, which I thought was actually really good, with Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, I want to watch
the Irish
that.
one.
Yeah, Paramount are getting like the quick releases from the cinema now, which I don't know how they're doing it. They've obviously got some. Well, they make movies, don't they? So obviously,
it's like Apple and Disney get their films first and exclusively as well.
Yeah, so that was Paramount got like Top Gun 2 and stuff. But...
So that was on Prime. Sorry, I thought James was carrying on with Prime, but he was talking about Paramount.
Oh yeah.
But it's
Prime, on Prime. Paramount, it's kind of a piggyback off Prime, isn't it? Most people get it because of that.
It's free on Prime now, though, so I was well chuffed to watch Small Things Like These.
Yeah, I've got it on my list. Yeah,
really.
It's just there. And just below that, just below Small Things Like These, is this film here, which is
Foren.
Polar.
It's the one with Emmanuel Bonamy.
Speeders.
Fornicus.
No, I think.
Emmanuel Bonamy was a big fan of our season 2 trailer thing. He liked it.
I really wanted to get Reef to do one, but I completely forgot, if I'm honest. We were going to do one at when we went to town the other day, and I just completely forgot. But everyone else's was really good. I thought it was really cool.
Trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah, you did really well, man.
I like Drew slamming his newspaper shut.
Yeah. I liked your little boom. That was funny.
Yeah,
it took me like 7 takes to do that.
It was a good little comical ending as well. I couldn't put it in
and
the
it was
It took ages to get it right.
It's very keeping with your character.
One recommendation on Prime, so you don't have to pay extra for Paramount or something. Can everyone watch Kneecap? If you've not watched Kneecap, it's one of the best films.
Yeah. Oh, your little Irish boys,
ever.
Okay,
it's funny, it's gritty, it's political, but
you say it's the best film ever.
It's one of the best. There's not many gritty British, or should I say Irish films I've seen.
I've never seen Kevin rewatch something so many times, because he was saying you've probably seen it 3 times now, have you, or something?
I've just added it again to my watch list 2 days ago, because just to remember to put it on while I'm doing something else. I know I love it's comical, it's rewatch. It was so good. Shall we end with all 3 of us giving the audience their recommendation for a Gary Oldman film to watch next.
Just before that, I just went on Prime to highlight your little thing you just recommended.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's new on Prime or it's been there for a while, but it's just come up on the main screen. I'm just going to mute this in case we get told off. Is Due Date? That
Yeah, Robert Downey
that
Jr.
film
and
is. I was thinking about it the other day. You know, when they're in that guy's they're at Jamie Foxx's house, and he makes the coffee, and it's like mate your boy's dad because his ashes are in the coffee thing. He's like, get the fuck out,
Oh yeah,
drinking his dad.
oh, drinking his dad. That's mental.
But
That
also
Zach Galifianakis is a
on
genius.
Prime, Sinners is available to buy as well, and
And Mickey 17.
Quiet Place Day One is on Paramount for free.
Until Dawn is on there as well. I thought it had just literally come out. The Amateur, I really want to see that. I really want to see The Amateur.
Right, let's stop. Give us a recommendation for a Gary Oldman film that you think is your favourite or you'd recommend people to watch.
I'll give two. One that I think is my favourite but everyone's seen, and the other one that is maybe more of an obscure one. So Drew can go first.
Thank you for that. So my two choices would definitely be Leon, because I think he's amazing in that, and Romeo is Bleeding, because it's quite a fascinating, really, really interesting journey. And to see a young Gary Oldman, but still absolutely smashing it and just being amazing.
It's repeating. I mean, obviously the Batman movies, because who hasn't seen them at this point? They're not great Gary Oldman movies, though. Like, he's a bit part. But if you want to watch a great Gary Oldman movie, yeah, I would say Leon is the one. And for one that I didn't even realise he was in, but I really enjoyed the film. Is it one of the greatest movies of all time? Probably not. Looking at the scores here, pretty average. But Hannibal is a fun movie if you like sort of dark crime, kind of unpredictable movies.
I could have guessed you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I could have guessed Hannibal was coming.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the rest of them, obviously Kung Fu Panda's hilarious. The other ones are just obvious ones that people would have seen. Like,
But I was going to say True Romance and Leon, but it sounds like all three of us would say, I think Leon would be the winner.
Yeah.
the best, or The Professional, as it's called in some places.
No one has seen. If people listening to this episode now or watching this episode have not seen Leon, fucking treat yourself, because Leon is an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah, it's kind of like I wouldn't understand if anyone listening to this now hasn't seen the Batman movies, because unless you really have a thing against superheroes, like you would have seen.
Unless you were living in a cave.
But if you're a younger person, like in their early 30s or 20s, Leon may have slipped you by. You never know.
Well, it's free on. Oh, it's not free. It's £3.50 on Prime currently.
Well,
or go on everyone's favourite pirating channel, Billy.
Don't be sharing your Billy Billies with
probably
people.
somewhere. So probably on Tubi or some other thing like that as well.
Billy Tubi, something stupid. Yeah.
We love our deep dives. And we love that it's not linear and it's a bit random at times, and I think that's the beauty of it. So we'll do some more. If anyone at home has recommendations, let us know. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
James just does thumbs up, but he means bye-bye. Thank you, James, for all your thumbs and middle fingers.
And your fingers.
Bye-bye. ASMR.
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you had a whale of a time.
Oh, wait! Just before you head off to listen to another one of our episodes, I'm not going to ask you to give us a follow and a 5-star review or follow our social media such as Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, although that is your choice. But we would like to tell you about a new website we have called ragewhale.tmill.com, where you can get some merchandise to support us. Hoodies, t-shirts and mugs. There is a link here and on our social media profiles. Thank you so much for listening again. See you next time.